Well, there you go. Hi, friends. Doc South here. And boy, it's nice to have Facebook back after 6 hours of not being around, huh? Yesterday. Whoa. Tell you, I didn't know what was up. I figured it was nuclear attack at least, but no, I guess some glitches in the wires, I suppose. Go figure. I'm glad I didn't have to figure it out. Say, I got news for you. Yeah, it still wouldn't be up and running. Excuse me. And I did kind of miss Facebook for those 6 hours. Running around scratching my head, wondering what I was going to do, but luckily I have a story I'm working on, a novel, another one. And so I worked on that most of the Facebook downtime. Kept checking back though to see if it was there. I and eventually it came back. Everything's fine. But it reminded me of a time, and actually I got a lot done by not having it around. I did stuff around the house. I wrote some on I got a whole bunch of pages written on the novel I'm working on. Did some videos. I did, I think, three or four videos. Hey, it was kind of nice not to have Facebook there, tell you the truth, much as I like it. But it reminded me, though, yesterday reminded me of, oh gosh, it had to be about 40 years ago. I lived up in north central Pennsylvania, and I worked for a boiler making company, actually boiler repair. We were boiler makers, I suppose, but we went out and fixed the boilers if something went wrong with them out in the field. Right. So we weren't actually in a factory knocking the things out. We were, taking care of the broken ones. You can't really do a house call you can only do house calls with boilers. You can't pick them up and take them to the shop, for a quick repair. They're a little heavy. Yeah. And, but well, gosh, it would have been, I think, one January after a fairly busy year of boiler making. It might have been my first or second year with the company. The boss calls me in, and I said, I wonder what's up. And he said, sit down, South, and listen, we're low on work right now, so we're going to lay you off for a couple months. I said, oh my God, laid off? He says, yeah, laid off, but he says, you're a good worker. We'll hire you back as soon as the work comes in. But this time of year in the winter, the boilers are running. They can't really shut them down unless there's something catastrophic. So we're not doing any brick work or anything like that. If we need you, we'll call you, but pretty much count on not having much to do I'd say for about 2 months. And we'll get you back in here. He says, we'll give you a note here. You can go to unemployment, get signed up for that. And, where you live, you should be fine. We, again, lived up in the sticks and lived pretty cheap. And in fact, I think I had my daughter Sunshine, and I think Burgess I think Burgess was still, might have been on the way, I think. And and I think we got by on about about $700 a month was more than enough to live up there back in the day. Yeah, I know, not anymore. But but anyway, so I'm absolutely, I'm just beside myself heading home. My God, I'm laid off. 2 months, no work. Oh, yeah, I had the little severance package. It was about $150, $200, which was good, but now I've got to go to unemployment, and woe is me, and all this stuff. I'm really overplaying it in my head. And I go into the house, and my wife then, Molly, says, gee, why are you looking so glum? I said, I got laid off. We're out of work for 2 months, they say. She says, oh, okay, well, good, I'll have you around the house. That's cool. And I said, yeah, but with money, She says, well, you can go for unemployment, right? I said, yeah, I got a slip here. She says, well, get down there tomorrow and sign up, and we should be fine. Gosh, it's not like we need a king's ransom. I said, yeah, I got to find work to do. And oh my God, I'm pacing around the house. Oh, I was just awful. And I guess one of my neighbors saw me fretting there, and he says, well, I hear you got laid off, huh, from the boiler place? I said, yeah. And he says, well, why don't you, he says, I know something you could do. I said, what? He says, well, go to the Forest Service, okay? And you know where the office is, the ranger there, and get a slip so that you can go up and cut wood up in the forest, up in the, they'll probably be glad to have you because they're all the time up there cutting. You know, the lumbermen are up there cutting, but they don't cut the branches. They cut the branches off the tree, and they take the long straight trunk to go be turned into wood, you know, into lumber. You can cut those branches up all day long, and they make great firewood. You know, that'll keep you busy. Plus, you'll have firewood for your wood stuff. I said, well, yeah, that's a thought. I'll go do that. No, it was $5 to cut a cord of wood. $5 to cut a cord of wood. But the ranger got me aside and he says, listen, he says, that permit is for 1 cord of wood, but we don't care. We've got so much wood up in that forest, no one's coming to cut it. You cut all you want, pal. All of it, if you want. Cut it. You got a chainsaw? Yeah, good. Just load it up and get it out of here. Because we can't have these branches all over the woods. It clutters up the tree growth. You understand? Do you catch my drift? I said, yeah. I said, he says, you want to cut 15 cords of wood up there? You be my guest. And that's just what I did. I cut and split. I had at least 15 cords of wood up there in the backyard. And of course, people started to notice. And they come over and they say, hey, you don't need all that wood, right? Would you sell me a cord? What? I said, what? You want to buy some? Yeah. I'll give you, I don't know, let's just say $100. Well, darn, that was like a week's pay. I said, $100 for a cord? Yeah, if you'll deliver it. You split it all and everything? Yeah, at least 100's good. Bring it on over to my place. Here's where and pretty soon I'm selling firewood like crazy. And again, $100 went a long way back then, especially up in that particular area of Pensy. People lived cheap up there. It was great. It was great. And and then I was also taken, you know, sometimes you see these in the Popular Mechanics magazines. You'll see learn to be a locksmith. Well, I took the course. And actually had a certificate. And people found out about that, and they started hiring me to fix their locks. I even opened a safe for a guy. Yeah, I drilled open a safe, and he had money in it and all that, but he had lost the combination. I got it open, and he paid me pretty well for that. It was crazy. I mean, I was making way more money than I did as a Boilermaker. And eventually I got called back. I dragged my fanny back to the boiler place and was working there. And one day I come home from work and the wife says, here, you got a letter from unemployment. I didn't open it. She says, but gosh, what if they're mad at you? Maybe you made too much money or something? I said, I don't know. Let's open it up. I opened it up and they said, dear sir, we didn't realize this or that about your account. You actually have more money coming, and closes a check for like $300. I said, ay, this is great. This getting laid off was fantastic. And of course, the following year, I was hoping I'd get laid off again, but they didn't lay me off. They had work. Stinkers. But it was absolutely, I don't think I ever made more money being unemployed without a job in my entire life at that particular that particular year, that winter. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. Yeah, Lord's Prayer moment. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Well, because things are never as dark as they seem, yes. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Sometimes it's good to be out of work. Most of the time it isn't, I know. But they worked out just fine for me back then. I'll see you later. Bye now. God bless.